Hello, Jane Ball. I'm Mrs. Correa, and I'm going to read to you today one of my favorite books. This title of the book is Poor Pluto. One of the reasons why it's one of my favorite books is because it's written and illustrated by a third grade class. And these students were from 2K Colony Elementary School in Lodi, California. Poor Pluto. While we were working on our solar system dioramas, our teacher made a very shocking announcement. Class, scientists have just decided that Pluto can no longer be a planet. Now there are only 8 planets, so please remove him from your project. I'm sorry. We cried, "Poor Pluto!" Pluto didn't have a family anymore. How sad, how terrible. We knew we had to do something. So during recess, we collected materials from around our school and built a rocket ship. It was big enough to hold 16 students, 1 teacher, and 3 pet hamsters. We asked our principal if we could go. He didn't mind, so we blasted off to find Pluto. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! And here's the principal down here. It'd be Mr. Eckhart saying, "Hurry back!" It was great being in outer space. Our mission was to find Pluto and bring him back with us. He wouldn't feel lonely. We would be his new family. After we passed all of the planets, we saw Pluto. We got a huge rope, tied a lasso, tossed it around Pluto, and brought him into our rocket. When we returned to our school, we had so much fun with Pluto. We rolled down the slide together and played tetherball. But when we took our time tests, Pluto couldn't hold a pencil. And when Pluto tried to sit, the desk broke. The saddest part of the day was when Becky, the bus driver, shouted, "No planets on the bus!" So we all went home. Pluto stayed alone in our classroom overnight. As darkness came, he looked out the window and way up into the sky. He could see his old friends way off in the distance. Carol Comet, Mikey Meteor, Stanley Star, and Billy Black Hole. He missed them very much. He cried big planet tears. After we saw how sad Pluto was in our classroom, we knew he had to go back home, even though he wasn't a real planet anymore. He still belonged to the solar system family. So we found all of the rubber bands from the teacher's desk, tied them together, and made a gigantic slingshot. Outside in our field, we tied the slingshot around 2 trees. Pluto said goodbye to us. We said goodbye to Pluto. Goodbye! We tucked Pluto safely inside the slingshot and pulled it back as far as it would go, and then blast off. Pluto blasted across the sky all the way back to his place in the solar system, right where he belongs. We will never forget the year we tried to save Pluto. Guess what? He didn't need saving. He was just fine. The end. I'm just going to read to you really quick what really happened to Pluto. On Thursday, August 17, 2006, the International Astronomical Union decided that Pluto was no longer going to be classified as a planet. They say in order for an object to be called a planet, it must orbit around a star, have a round shape, and have enough gravity to have its own orbit path. Pluto does orbit a star, but it has a more oval shape and doesn't have its own orbit path. It shares an orbit path with Neptune. So now there are only 8 real planets, and Pluto is something else. It may be called a dwarf planet or a Pluton. Nobody's quite sure. And then here's the class, the 3rd grade class that wrote the book. All right, well, I hope everybody makes it a great day. I miss all of you.